Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. So today we're just gonna jump right into it. Currently on Gran Turismo 7, there is a huge bug, a huge glitch that is occurring on this game. And if you guys don't know what bug or glitch I'm talking about, well, it is a sound issue that is occurring during these daily races. Now, I'm not sure if it's happening in the single player or during private lobbies, but for sure on daily races I've been having an issue where you just cannot hear your own engine sound. And if you guys are driving competitively or if you guys drive manual, you guys know that it is so important to hear your own engine sound due to the fact that it can easily cause you to misshift gears or even not know what gear you're on, and that can lead to a lot of trouble, especially if you're fighting against someone. Let's say you're stuck in second gear, you didn't realize you hadn't shift up, and you're just over revving the engine. You just don't get a good launch off of the corner. It can just be basically the difference between you winning that battle or you losing that battle. And I believe it's a glitch that needs to be fixed ASAP. And I really do hope Polyphony is working on this, as it is the 6th of December here, and they still haven't fixed it, as I did do a couple day races here on this day, and it just was not fixed. But it's a weird glitch because it just comes in and out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So majority of the time the engine, you know, it works fine, everything is great, but there's just these 1 or 2 races that I've had throughout the day that the glitch occurs, and I just cannot hear anything on my end when it comes down to the engine noise. And so hopefully, like I said, Polyphony is working on this, or they found the fix, but currently as recording they had not. So hopefully it gets fixed ASAP and we don't run into this issue anymore. But anyways, we're gonna focus onto the race here, as we just got knocked down back into P6 after getting pushed off wide out of, I believe it was turn number 4 or 5. But anyways, we continue on here as we try to make a move on the inside of Sophie Rouge heading into the hairpin, but just failed miserably as we just could not get the drive off of the corner. And due to that, losing the momentum, Whitebeard was able to get the overtake. We can moted back into 7th place. A little bit further into the race now, onto lap number 2. We stay right behind Jay Holman as Whitebeard just gets a really bad run down the straight. And we try to make a move onto the outside, make it 3 wide into turn number 1, but unfortunately, again, we get hit from the inside off of the corner, get pushed into the gravel trap, and instead of being able to fight here for a P6, P5, we get demoted once again back into P13, as I just think I've just been driving a bit too nice on this race, as I've been pushed off wide twice. But we're gonna see if we can do a redemption race, trying to make up some positions, and hopefully we can finish in at least in a decent spot. If not, maybe get some good racing and have ourselves a fun time here in the back of the pack. But as we cross the start finish line here, making our way into turn number 1 once again on lap number 3, you see a couple people ahead of us coming to the pits as they decided to start off on the mediums just like we did, and they were going to switch off to the soft, as those were the 2 compounds that were given to us for this race, and actually the required compound tires that you have to use for this race. So you couldn't just go full guns to the wall and just use the mediums from beginning to end. You actually had to switch off to the soft, or vice versa. If you start off on the soft, you couldn't just use those from the beginning to the end of the race. You had to come in and switch them off to the mediums. And I thought it was a really good basically combination, especially with this racetrack and this cars. The Group 4 cars just run so great around this track. And due to the strategies that are implemented on this race, for us having to use both the tires, it leads to some really, really fun, wacky racing. And you guys are going to see that here shortly. But to come out of the pits here on lap number 5, all those positions that we made up, as you saw when we came in, we were 5th place. We end up losing as we just go back into P13. So really nothing gained, nothing lost, as we had already been in P13 before all the pits started occurring. And now it's just going to be how well we can run with these softs, as we just accidentally make a very stupid mistake right there as we go a little bit too narrow into the hairpin, scrape against the wall, and lose all momentum coming out of that corner. But ahead of us, we got Whitebeard and Basilaki fighting pretty hard for this P11, as a little bit of contact is made here. Basilaki goes a bit wide, goes into the grass, kicks up some dirt into our face, but luckily he was able to keep it onto the track as we make a nice little dive into the inside, tried to get into the inside of Basilaki, just could not make the move work correctly, and Unfortunately, we make a little bit of contact with him, and that allows the Canadian of Bacon Slayer to get a really good run in the Ferrari. It's a really interesting car that not a lot of people really pick the Ferrari here, but yeah, Bacon Slayer making the Ferrari work, showing us how it's done. And as we try to get into the slipstream here, we're going to help Basilaki here because, of course, I felt bad for kind of almost knocking him out of the way coming out of that final corner. But as we make our way now into turn number 1, Basilaki gets a really great run heading into the corner, was able to outbrake Bacon Slayer, and is able to regain that 12th place position away from the Ferrari. So just getting back in line here, 4 laps left in this race. It's basically going to be a battle for P11 unless if some shenanigans happens up ahead and they get involved into this battle. That's probably going to be the best we can do here as time is starting to wind down here, and it looks like we're not going to be able to go anywhere as the track is kind of blocked due to these guys kind of fighting with each other. But anyways, the Ferrari decides to give the Alpha a little bit of a nudge, a little bit of Italian preference there, it looks like, but we're going to give the Ferrari a little bump here, and this is kind of tactic. I wanted to see if I can push them up there to see if they can fight with each other heading to turn number 1. And the tactic worked before the Ferrari. It didn't work in our favor. It worked for the Ferraris. He was able to get 2 in 1 heading into turn number 1. But not only that, he was able to actually pull away due to the fact that the Alpha is going to go for the inside move, makes contact with the WRX. We have nowhere to go. We're just trying to avoid all the carnage that's happening here between Whitebeard and Basilaki. And unfortunately, again, we just have nowhere to go. So they're just both blocking the track. We're just trying to pick which line is going to be the faster line and which way we're going to be able to get around these two. But again, just nowhere to go. As you can see now, Bacon Slayer is just pulling away here, just running his normal racing line. And again, he's got basically me to thank for that because we pushed him into ahead of these two. And now he's got clean open track and he's able to just pull away, focus on his own race while we're here fighting for P13. But as we come out of the hairpin, once again, just not a good run through the corner as we get pushed out wide by Whitebeard. And as we advance a little bit more forward into the race, just things got a little bit more heated between us three, and it allowed the Ford Mustang of Hatson to get into this battle now. And the streetcar battle that was with the Ferrari as well, it was basically a 4-car battle, has now turned into a 4-car battle, but with a Ford Mustang instead of the Ferrari. As it's going to be a very interesting here to see if we can get around these next 2 laps cleanly, as you can see patience was starting to wear thin here between us 4. But as we make our way into the hairpin, things actually look a little bit bright as we get some really good side-by-side action between us and the other 3. And a little bit of flip-flopping going around as the Alfa Romeo try to go for a cutback on Basilaki. Doesn't work out too well, but unfortunately goes a bit wide, makes contact with the barrier, makes contact with the Ford Mustang, and both of them go spinning as they're able to make 2 free positions up there. Not only that, Avalarion right ahead of us gets a really bad exit. We sneak it onto the inside, cut it close between Avalarion and the guardrail already onto the inside, sneak it past Basilaki. And just like that, in a span of 10 seconds, we're able to make this work and make ourselves go from 15th position all the way up to 11th. And now all we have to do is just defend our position, go into turn number 1, and maybe, just maybe, we can pull away from Basilaki and just focus on our own race here, and maybe potentially catch up to Mateo up ahead and go for that P10, especially after such an abysmal race, having to get pushed out in the beginning and then basically not making up any positions throughout the race just due to all the fighting that we were doing and bad driving on my end. But don't tell Andrew that I said that. But anyways, yeah, we continue on here, and as we come out of, I believe it was not P5, but turn 5, and make our way into Church's Corner, we're able to pull away just a tad bit from Basilaki, and this is exactly what we wanted. We just wanted clean open track. And as we make our way now to the end of the lap here, we are able to pull a half a second gap, but unfortunately we make contact with the guardrail, go a bit wide, and this smooth sailing for a P11 turns into a nightmare as we make contact with the guardrail, lose 2 positions, but luckily the Mustang goes a bit wide. And now we're back into P12, having to fight for this P11 against Basilaki once again. So just 1 lap left here. both WRXs. I think we're both using the soft compound tires, but we're gonna see how well we can get around him as he's flashing the emergency lights. Not sure why, but we go into the inside, sneak it there, try to brake as late as we can. Side by side coming off of turn number 1. Still clean side by side racing. This is probably the best racing that we've had all day. And as we make our way now into turn number 4 and 5, the weird fast chicane, we try to brake again as late as we can, hold the inside that's going to turn into the outside here. Brake a little bit early into the next corner, try to go for the old switcheroo, go into the inside, make a little bit of contact with Basilaki, nothing too foul. It's a little bit of hard contact racing, but yeah, as we make our way into Church's corner, we go onto the outside, try to get the momentum. He keeps onto the inside, and it's still a side-by-side battle here as we basically have gone about halfway through the lap here, side-by-side. Good fighting with Basilaki. And as we make our way now through the dreaded hairpin that we've just been getting knocked out or making contact with the wall, just making mistakes here throughout the race, we keep it onto the outside, still side by side, a little bit of contact, a little bit of rubbing. And as we make our way now through this windy section, this fast windy section, we got the inside into this double right-hander. And as we try to clear Basilaki before this quick left kink, we get right in front of him, make sure that we avoid making contact with the guardrail. And it's still not over here, so we're gonna make our way down the final attempt for an overtake as Basilaki just goes right behind us and brakes where he needs to, doesn't push us out of the way. And just like that, boys and girls, we're able to have a nice, great race here for the end. And as we come down to the final corner, this fast sweeping right-hander, we're gonna finish this race after starting on pole, getting knocked down into the last place, up in 11th position. And yeah, it was a very, very interesting race. A lot of fun racing that we had back here, but just unfortunate that it was just due to circumstances that were just out of my control, and we got taken out right off the bat in the beginning of the race. But either way, thank you to Basilaki and everybody else that was racing cleanly around me. It was a really good time, and whenever we're able to get some good, clean side-by-side racing, it's a lot of fun, especially when it's people that, you know, do respectfully. But anyways, let me know what you guys thought about the race, and also let me know if you guys are having this glitch where you guys cannot hear your own engine sound. Hopefully Polyphony will fix this very, very soon so that we don't have to deal with this, and yeah, we can have ourselves some good old fun racing back to normality. But anyways, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you guys enjoyed the video, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button down below. My name is Andrew. Hope you guys have a good one, and until next time, peace.